Hello and welcome to episode number 10 of Saving Sunderland, the homegrown heroes, why I am attempting to turn Sunderland into a top 6 side using only British and Irish players. This is going to be a quick video today. I'm halfway through pre-season. I just want to give you an update on the transfers that we have made so far. Let us start with the ins. We have brought in Simon Ford, who is a regen striker, only 15 years old from Preston. He is looking to be a very decent prospect. I've targeted quite a number of young players from the Championship to try and get them in, so to boost our young academy. So he comes in a very similar mould is Adam Webster, who is an attacking midfielder who will play as my shadow striker, who can also play as a central striker and can also play in midfield as well. Again, very much one for the future, comes in from Nottingham Forest. You'll notice a common theme with these players. Dave French can also play throughout the spine, midfield, attacking midfield and striker. Comes in from Sunderland. Again, youth player, lots of promise for the future. Won't be anywhere near my first team for a while, but has been involved in pre-season. Killian Kelly was mentioned in a previous episode when we agreed terms with him back in January. Comes in from Cork City, a shadow striker. Bags of potential as well. Slightly closer to the first team than the other guys I've mentioned already. Already valued at £1 million, only 16 years of age, and lots of potential. And the final guy who falls under the quite a bit of potential point of view, or certainly did when I had him scouted, is Mark Vincent, a centre midfielder coming in from Derby. I like the guy, but for some reason my assistant manager is now saying it's only a fairly good rating for the senior team, so there's work for him to do. We now move on to the first of our bigger signings. Joe Wildsmith is a goalkeeper from Sheffield Wednesday who I've heard a lot of very good things about in the Football Manager world. Only 21 years old, so he'll be a long-term opponent of Jordan Pickford. Lots of potential for him as well. Looks very strong in most of the goalkeeping areas, so I'm very confident this guy will be good for us and pushes Marcus Bettinelli down to third choice keeper, which is probably a good thing too. 8.75 million, so is quite a big fee for us as a club, but not our biggest transfer in the window, as the next two supersede that. The next signing is Izzy Brown from Chelsea. Originally from West Bromwich Albion, can play anywhere across the front three and also up front. Physically, lots of positive numbers in there. Mentally, quite good as well. A little bit of work to do on the technical side of things, but 20 years old, lots of potential ability there as well. He cost me 14.25 million, which is quite a big deal for Sunderland. He hasn't really done it in the Premier League as yet, just a couple of seasons in Chelsea reserves and then a couple of seasons out on loan. But I need to bring players in who have got potential. I can't afford finished articles, they just don't work because I just can't afford the wages. So he comes in, lots of potential, so I'm very hopeful he'll do a very good job for me. This is my big signing, Harry Arter, a midfielder from Bournemouth. I like this guy in real life. I like the fact he's come from the lower leagues. He's worked his way up and he's doing a really good job at Bournemouth. He only cost me £15 million because they got relegated at the back end of last season. So I have stolen him, I think, from Bournemouth. Irish midfielder, a few caps for them as well, so it brings us international experience. He does have an £18.5 million release clause if a Champions League club comes in for him. So if he does well, he might not last very long, but I'm liking this guy a lot. Can play both midfield roles really well and can also do a job as a shadow striker if required. So I've spent £40 million so far. I do have about £10 million left in my budget. The only position I'm looking for is a defender, centre half. I think apart from that, I'm very happy with my squad as it is. If this was my squad for the opening day of the season, then I'd be more than happy with that. In the out column, I've managed to get rid of quite a bit of my dead wood. So Mika has gone to Huddersfield for £575,000. He was my fourth choice goalkeeper. Our fifth choice keeper, Maximilian Sturcek, has gone on loan to Barnet for the season. Released a few at the end of the season as well, so George Honeyman, Tom Beadling, Ollie Payne and Will Buckley have all left the club. I've sold Fabio Barini for £5 million to Middlesbrough. Not the ideal destination for a Sunderland player to go to, however, they are in the Championship and I wanted him off the wage bill, so £5 million is cheap, but I just wanted rid, and they were the only team interested. Reece Greenwood goes on loan to Hartlepool for the season. He is a British player, so does have a future with us. So we'll see how he develops. Jermaine Lenz has gone to AC Milan for £10 million. He was out on loan last season, so I'm very happy to get a good fee for him. Darren Gibson is unhappy and missed training a couple of times, so very happy for him to go out on loan for the season. He has no real future at the club, but he's on a very good wage. We're going to get about £800,000 for him in loan fees, and they're also paying 30% of his weekly wage. So we are saving a little bit of money there. And Vito Manoli, the only guy who is not British and Irish players that I've actually used because of injuries, has joined AC Milan for £500,000 in his last year of his contract. So that is a very good deal for Milan. I think I turned down £1.5 million at some point last year from Wigan, but you live and learn. In terms of getting rid of the deadwood, I've only got a couple of guys left now. I've got Wahabi Kazri, who's Tunisian and on 40 grand a week, so I'm actively trying to move him on. There's quite a few clubs interested in him, so I'll get something for him. I doubt I'll get very much. Sam Brotherton is another one who has 2 years left on his contract, only on £1,000 a week. I did agree terms with Newport County for him, but he didn't get a work permit, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get rid of him. I have tried offering him mutual termination, but he is not interested. He'd prefer to, I think the mutual termination was about £70,000, but he'd prefer to get the £100,000 that he will be owed for the remainder of his contract. So can't blame him too much for that. We've also had our youth intake coming in. So Trevor White is probably the best of the bunch. Even though his stats are deteriorating at the moment, he is a very good rating for our senior team at 16 years of age. Plays as a target man, but we are training him to be a complete forward, or we will be as soon as I get round to it. Doing it as a shadow striker. If I could remember stuff, I'd be absolutely awesome. Joe Wright is also probably the last of the big name, well, not big names, but big potential players as a defensive midfielder, so training him up to be a centre midfielder. Lots of good attributes there, so 16 years of age, we'll see how he develops. In terms of pre-season, we have finished our first official tour. We went to America for 4 or 5 days, playing some really, really low reputation sides just to get that winning feeling going. We are playing our away tactic in these games, which I will show you when we get into the real season. So we're midway through pre-season, 3 games to go. I might put in a couple more in there, maybe look to see if we can get some big name oppositions in just for a bit of financial reward. But that is it for today. It's a short episode as promised, so thank you very much for watching. I've been the FM Novice, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow where we start the Premier League season at home to Crystal Palace. Thank you very much and goodbye.